Welcome to English Grammar 2, Unit 62. Verbs followed by prepositions followed by verb plus ing. For example, succeed in plus verb plus ing, or accuse somebody of plus verb plus ing, etc. Here again we speak about verbs followed by verb plus ing, but here the verbs followed by prepositions, then come verb plus ing. For example, here in part A, we see many verbs have the structure verb plus preposition. For example, in, for, about, etc. plus object. We know that prepositions are followed by nouns, and nouns here called as objects of prepositions or objects for prepositions. For example, we have here verb plus preposition plus object, the form, and the example, we talked about the problem. Here we talked about the problem. We have the verb talked followed by the preposition about, and the preposition is followed by the problem. The problem here is called as object of the preposition, or what is called here noun, comes after a preposition. And it is here noun phrase, the problem. It is called noun phrase in the position of object for the preposition about. You must apologize for what you said. You must apologize. We have here the verb apologize, and we have the preposition for, and what you said is a clause, and the clause here is put in the position of object of the preposition. If we think of the clause here, what you said means we have you subject, said verb, and what object, and here it is a complete sentence. Here what you said here is a noun clause in the position of object for the preposition for. Someone might say, okay, you don't know what is a phrase or a clause. Phrase here, as in the word the problem, and the above in the object the problem. Phrase is a group of words that doesn't have a subject and verb of its own, and they function as one of the parts of speech, and here it functions as a noun. The phrase can be a noun phrase, verb phrase, and object phrase, adjective phrase. Sorry, it is not object phrase. Here we can say noun phrase, verb phrase, adjective phrase, and adverb phrase. Noun phrase, let's say the word man and the man, the boy, the girl, etc. And the problem, here we have the problem, two words, and they don't have here subject and verb, the word and its article. It is called here, and it functions as a noun in the position of object. That's why we call it noun phrase, the problem. And for what you said, here it is a clause, what you said. You must apologize for what you said. What you said here, it is a clause. The clause is a group of words that have a subject and verb of its own, and complement, and function as one of the parts of speech, noun For example, noun clause, as here in this case, it's called noun clause, and adjective clause and adverb clause. If the object is another verb, it ends in ing. What does this sentence mean or statement mean? It means that to replace the noun phrase or noun clause or what comes after the preposition, to replace the noun in the position of object of the preposition by a verb, the verb must be formed of verb plus ing. In other words, noun derived from a verb by the addition of ing to the verb. So, if we want to add after the preposition a verb, the verb must be formed this way, verb plus ing. In other words, it is a noun derived from a verb by the addition of ing to the verb, or sometimes we call it participle. This depends, but here it is a noun, so we call it verb plus ing, we call it gerund. Let's see this form, verb plus preposition plus verb plus ing in the position of object. We talked about going to America. Here we have we talked, the verb talked, and followed by the preposition about, and the preposition about is followed by verb plus ing, here going to America. Here going to America can be called gerundial phrase. Gerundial phrase. And here it is in the position of object for the preposition about. You must apologize for not telling the truth. Here we have the verb apologize followed by the preposition for, and what comes after the preposition for, we have the verb tell plus ing, then it becomes telling, not telling the truth. Not telling the truth here completely is gerundial phrase or gerund phrase in the position of object of the preposition for. It is a noun phrase in the position of object for the preposition for. Here we have some more verbs with this structure. We have the verb succeed in, insist on, think of, dream of, approve of, decide against, feel like, look forward to. Let's start with the first example. Have you succeeded in finding a job yet? Here it is a question, and we have the verb succeeded followed by the preposition in. The preposition in is followed by verb plus ing, finding a job yet. Finding a job yet. Here, finding a job yet, here it is in the position of object for the preposition in. Second example, they insisted on paying for the meal. Here we have the verb insisted followed by the preposition on, and after the preposition on we have paying for the meal. We have verb plus ing and its complement, and we call it gerundial phrase or noun phrase in the position of object for the preposition on. We have already said that prepositions are followed by nouns, and if we don't have nouns after prepositions, then and we have verbs, then verbs formed by adding ing, they become verb plus ing. So we find verb plus ing after the preposition. I am thinking of buying a house. We have the verb thinking followed by the preposition of, and the preposition of is followed by the verb plus ing, buying a house. I wouldn't dream of asking them for money. Here we have the verb dream followed by the preposition of and followed by verb plus ing, asking them for money. So we have again verb plus ing after the preposition. He doesn't approve of swearing. He doesn't approve of swearing. Here we have the verb approve followed by the preposition of, and the preposition of is followed by verb plus ing swearing, and here we have verb plus ing only, so we call it gerund only, not gerund phrase. We have decided against moving to London. We have decided against moving to London. We have the verb decided here and followed by the preposition against, and the preposition against is followed by verb plus ing, moving to London. And moving to London, all called gerund phrase or gerundial phrase in the position of object for the preposition against. Do you feel like going out tonight? Do you feel like going out tonight? Here we have the verb feel followed by the preposition like, and the preposition like is followed by verb plus ing, going out tonight, and going out tonight complete is called gerundial phrase or gerund phrase or noun phrase in the position of object for the preposition like. I am looking forward to meeting her. I'm looking forward to meeting her. Here, to is not infinitive. Here, to is a preposition. And since to is a preposition, then it is followed by verb plus ing. Then we have meeting her. So we have verb plus ing after to, the preposition. It is in the position of object for the preposition, and it is called noun phrase or gerundial phrase in the position of object for the preposition to. You can also say approve of somebody doing something. Here, in this case, we have somebody after the preposition. We have somebody, then comes verb plus ing. Look forward to somebody doing something. Another example. Here we have somebody after to. We have a person, here somebody, then we have verb plus ing. Example number 1, I don't approve of people killing animals for fun. Here we have the verb approve followed by the preposition of, and the preposition of is followed by people, somebody, then comes verb plus ing, killing animals for fun. Here we can call people killing animals for fun as noun phrase, functions as object of the preposition or for the preposition of. And we can say killing animals for fun. Here we can call it participle that function as adjective for people. Example number 2, we are all looking forward to Peter coming home. We are all looking forward. We have the verb looking forward followed by the preposition to, followed by Peter, a person here, then comes verb plus ing here, coming home. So in these two examples, we have somebody comes after the preposition, then comes the verb plus ing. Part B. In part B, we have verbs that can have the structure verb plus object plus preposition plus verb plus ing. We have the verbs congratulate, for example, congratulate on, accuse of, suspect of, prevent from, stop from, thank for, excuse for, and forgive for. Let's start with the first example. I congratulated Liz on getting a new job. We have the verb congratulated followed by noun, and the noun is followed by a preposition, and the preposition is followed by verb plus ing, getting a new job. Second example, they accused us of telling lies. Accused here is the verb followed by noun, pronoun here us, object, then comes a preposition of, and what comes after the preposition of is object formed of verb plus ing, telling lies. The third example, nobody suspected the general of being a spy. Here we have first object, the general, comes after the verb suspected, then comes the preposition of, and after the preposition of we have another object formed of verb plus ing, being a spy. The next example, what prevented you from coming to see us? What prevented you? We have the verb prevented followed by you. Here is the object. Then comes from, the preposition from, followed by verb plus ing, coming to see us. The fifth example, the rain didn't stop us from enjoying our holiday. Here we have the verb stop, didn't stop, followed by us, here object, the object us, here pronoun, then comes from, the preposition from, then followed by verb plus ing, enjoying our holiday. The next example, I forgot to thank them for helping me. I forgot to thank them for helping me. Here we have the verb thank followed by them, noun, object, it is a pronoun here, followed by a preposition for, and what comes after the preposition for is verb plus ing, here helping me. Excuse me for being so late. Here we have the verb excuse followed by me, a pronoun, object, then comes the preposition for, then after that comes verb plus ing, being so late. The last example here, please forgive me for not writing to you. Here we have the verb forgive is followed by the pronoun me, object, and the pronoun me object followed by the preposition for, and then comes verb plus ing, not writing to you, and here it is negative, that's why we use not before the verb plus ing. And remember that when you want to make verb plus ing negative, just add not. Don't use the verb don't. No, just use not before the verb plus ing. You can say stop somebody doing or stop somebody from doing. The verb stop here can be followed by the object somebody and verb plus ing, or can be followed by the object somebody and a preposition, then verb plus ing. Either it is written with a preposition or without a preposition. For example, you can't stop me doing what I want. Here we have the verb stop followed by the object me, and what comes after the object me directly? Doing what I do. Here we have verb plus ing. Or we can say you can't stop me from doing what I want. Here you can't stop me. Here we have the verb stop followed by me object followed by the preposition from, then comes verb plus ing, doing what I want. Some of these verbs are often used in the passive. For example, we were accused of telling lies. If you look at the above examples, the second example, they accused us of telling lies. If we make it into passive, if we change it into passive, then us comes at the beginning of the sentence in the position of subject. It becomes we, and we have the passive verb were accused, and the preposition comes directly after the verb accused. Then it becomes we were accused of telling lies, because the pronoun us moved to the beginning of the sentence because it is changed into passive. So what remains? Accused of directly without us in between. So it becomes we were accused of telling lies. The second example of the passive, the general was suspected of being a spy. If you look at the third example, you find nobody suspected the general of being a spy. If we change it into passive, then the general comes at the beginning of the sentence. So what happens? We have the verb suspected, passive verb suspected, followed by the preposition directly. So it becomes the general was suspected because it was a past verb. So it changed into a passive verb in the past. So it becomes was suspected since the general is singular. So it becomes the general was suspected, then comes off close to the verb suspected. It becomes the general was suspected of, then comes verb plus ing, being a spy. Note that we say apologize to somebody for something. We say we apologize to somebody for something, not for somebody for something. No, we apologize to somebody for something. For example, I apologized to them for keeping them waiting. Here I apologized to here is a preposition followed by object them, pronoun in the position of object. Then comes the preposition for followed by verb plus ing, for keeping them waiting. We don't say I apologized them. We don't use them pronoun object pronoun directly after the verb apologize. We must use the preposition to. So it becomes I apologize to them for keeping them waiting. We use to followed by the pronoun them. Then after that comes the preposition for followed by verb plus ing. That is all. Thank you.